And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Dimitri from Gracious Interests. Welcome all to the 12th episode of the Crypto Bull. In today's, live stream, I will be analyzing the cryptocurrency project called THORCHAIN. So, I first want to thank everyone who has voted on the poll. THORCHAIN, the match was between THORCHAIN and VChain. THORCHAIN won with about 77% of all votes cast. So, how do we begin? Well, like all previous episodes, we will be making use of a few guidelines retaken in my own course called Crypto Bull. These rules will generally apply to do your own, are generally applied for doing your own research. I'm going to show it on screen here. Screen. There we go. So this is my gumroad account. They can buy the Crypto Bull. The course itself is about trading cryptocurrencies on how to maximize your profit. It has a special dedicated chapter where it concerns how to recognize decent projects. I'm going to show it here. So that's the course itself, and where to invest is the page in question. So are we going to do this analysis? Well, first, we are going to look up the historical value of the THORCHAIN project. Optimally, the value, its past value, its past history must look like the graph as indicated here on screen. Just looking something up. Like indicated on screen here, so it needs to be in a certain uptick, so bullish over a long period of time. There might be a few, bearish cycles or a few dips in value, but in general, it needs to have an uptick or steady increase in value. Furthermore, are we going to take a look at the various communities and dedicated websites, newsrooms and hashtags concerning the cryptocurrency? Why? Well, a healthy project has an active community. This applies to both community members as well as developers being very active. Daily or weekly updated news articles, once again referring to active community or active development. Trending hashtags on monthly or bi-monthly basis. This is more of a guideline, don't take it all too seriously. And naturally, I want to see another up-to-date website. So, without further ado, let us begin. Sometimes I will refer back to the course itself just to highlight a few details and give some additional information. So, we'll be making use of the website CoinGecko to do my research. THORCHAIN. I see there exist two different coins. One is a token, an ERC20 token. The other is, a coin. I'm going to take the first one. That's the major one. So what do we see here on screen? THORCHAIN, abbreviated RUNE. Current value $14 has been an uptick in the last 24 hours with 6.5%. It's a dedicated website, an immediate link towards a white paper. Very nice, I love seeing that one. And an article on medium.com. Explores Binance and ViewBlock, so it is making use of the Binance blockchain. Binance itself is a semi-decentralized exchange which also runs its very own blockchain where people can build a variety of projects. So, first time I'm seeing a Binance blockchain here. Wallets, naturally Ledger wallet. Communities, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and on Telegram. My apologies. Source code available on GitHub. So the tags generally indicate what it is about. So it's a token, okay. Pertains to the Cosmos ecosystem. Decentralized exchange token. This indicates THORCHAIN or the THORCHAIN network has to do with decentralized exchanges. It's probably a decentralized exchange infrastructure. Makes part of decentralized finance. Well, both are always connected to each other and exchange-based tokens. It implies it might be a decentralized exchange. Might be, I'm fairly certain it will be by the looks of it, but I like to keep everything in the middle. So, changes in the last couple of hours, its historical value. So, at this point in time, we see the last 24 hours. You see there's an uptick, so it is bullish, but it's in the last 24 hours. Naturally, as in all previous episodes, I'm a guy who is interested in its historical value. What do I see here? Incepted July 21, 2019, so it is almost 2 years old. Started fairly low, but from what I can tell, during its history, it always has been in an uptick, so its general trend of growth has always been upwards. Very positive. Taking a peak yearly basis from April last year to this day. General uptick, general uptick, general uptick. I don't see much downward movements in value, just some healthy corrections here. So that's actually a very good sign. It reminds me a little bit of another project I did for the 10th episode of Crypto Bull, and it's a project I'm standing behind, which is Chainlink. It has, well, the same kind of historical value graphs like THORCHAIN here. So that implies actually I'm creating a weak spot here, a soft spot for THORCHAIN by reason, well, decent increase of value over time. The last 2 years with but a few healthy corrections. That's a very good sign of in a solid project. So 7 days, yeah. Last week it remained somewhat stable in value, to be expected, but general uptrend. So when it comes to historical value, I'm already running warm for it. Yeah, let us continue. What is it about? I immediately see here on CoinGecko they give quite an extensive description what it is about. Generally, those things are reserved for pretty solid projects. So pretty serious projects tend to give, well, not going to say long-winded, but extensive explanations on websites like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, etc., etc. So really hub sites where all cryptocurrencies and their information are being gathered. So the fact that it's presented here means they are actively working on their image and, well, are trying to attract decent investors and are being quite open about what they are doing. I love seeing that one. So about THORCHAIN is 14.27 trading hour, RUNE price is up. It has a circulating supply of 230 million RUNE coins. Okay, love seeing this one. Max supply of 500 million, which implies it has a hard cap. Love seeing that one. It implies that over time, and I'm talking about months and years, its value will continue increasing, which is awesome. Binance is the current most active market trading it. I expected as much by reason, well, the THORCHAIN, as mentioned in the tags, is making use of the Binance blockchain. Continue. What is THORCHAIN? Decentralized liquidity network with an interoperable blockchain that allows cross-chain token swaps in a non-custodial manner. So to translate this, it's an exchange, a non-custodial manner. So come on, non-custodial manner. This implies it's an exchange which holds no reserves. So it implies that it is going to do peer-to-peer, well, immediate peer-to-peer cross trading. By reason, non-custodial means they do not have any reserves themselves. So to continue, it does not pack or wrap assets, but simply allows you to swap tokens across various layer 1 blockchains. So traders on a THORCHAIN can similarly move from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Polkadot, etc., without having to resist the foreign exchange or go through know your custom. Yeah, KYC, abbreviation for Know Your Customer basis, like on SEX, so central exchanges. Hence, users are minimally exposed to custody and counterparty risks. So, decentralized exchange does not make use of custodial wallets, so does not really have private wallets to enable, well, to exchange a variety of coins. Going back to the, I'm having trouble finding my words here. Sorry. So, what is RUNE? Is a proof of stake, which is solid one when building a when building a decentralized exchange built on Tendermint. Cosmos. Cosmos is a little bit like Ethereum that I know from experience, where you can build decentralized apps. Uses network validators. Nodes required to bond their native token. RUNE, the native token. The token model increases in value as the utilization of the network grows. This means that the more liquidity is deposited into THORCHAIN liquidity pools, the more valuable RUNE gets. This implies its value is derived from the use of the platform. That's basically what this thing is saying. So the more popular THORCHAIN gets, the more valuable their native token becomes. To continue, RUNE is needed for fundamental reasons. One, in liquidity pools, it acts as a base pair, so on a 1-to-1 ratio of asset RUNE, so that with asset might be Bitcoin, Ethereum to RUNE. Required is because THORCHAIN does not actually operate by direct asset transfer. It means RUNE can move from one asset into another to activate. So yeah, basically this says that RUNE itself is an intermediary token. If, for example, you are on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Kraken, the intermediary currency you will be using would be fiat currency, so your US dollars, your euros, your Great British pounds, your yens, your rubles, etc., etc., etc. They are the sort of default currency to which is being once again referred when trading. In the case of THORCHAIN, it will be their own native token called RUNE. Continue. RUNE is bound as collateral by nodes for security. The following 2-to-1 bond stake ratio. This RUNE is not intended to be a governance token. THORCHAIN will be governed more like Bitcoin, where nodes running can determine what direction it takes. This also means that THORCHAIN is not only limited to traders looking to trade spot tokens, but also intended to be used by liquidity providers and node operators. So, apart from being an intermediary currency to be used on the platform, they also say, look, RUNE is being used for governance of the project itself. So all nodes, so the supposed miners, it's wrong wording, I have to admit that, but for the sake of clarity, we're going to say miners, so the people who sustain the blockchain and do all the validations and verifications of transactions on the THORCHAIN blockchain, well, they can stake and make use of RUNE in order, well, they can stake RUNE as well a collateral, which to do the verification and validation of, well, all transactions on the network. So it's with a 2-to-1 bond stake ratio. Needed in the work is just 3 times the amount of non-assets locked. This 3-to-1 is just the minimum value of RUNE. So basically they say here, well, the minimum value of RUNE that is needed in order to stake or make use of the network. So here they put it in more plain English terms, probably should have read a little bit further. It's used for liquidity as a settlement asset, so like I said, intermediary token. Security as a civil resistant security measure and a means for driving economic behavior. So yeah, in order to secure the blockchain, that's what it means, governance to signal priority on chain. So with that, it means with the amount of RUNE being staked, certain procedures get a certain amount of priorities, certain transactions, verifications, etc., etc. Incentive as part of the incentive mechanism. RUNE is used to pay out rewards, charge fees, and subsidize gas. So basically, it is the token which powers the entire THORCHAIN blockchain. simply. Amplify to elevate assets that are on the THORCHAIN, so to add value to the different coins and tokens which are present on the THORCHAIN decentralized exchange. So, for example, if you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. on THORCHAIN, well, by having it present on the THORCHAIN and actively swapping with RUNE, etc., we're actually adding value to these coins and tokens. That's basically what it's saying. So usually it has cross-chain settlements between who's will need to pay fixed network fees as well as a variable slip fee. So yeah, that's basically transaction and gas fees for doing, well, the various manipulations on the chain. So it works a little bit like Ethereum that, well, on that account. So you have transaction fees when you're doing a transaction. And if you want to make movement, there's the so-called gas fees. So the amount of coins, tokens that need to be paid in order to do certain operation on the chain. Separate also, yeah. This can be interesting. I'm not going to read it. It gets more into detail technically. Perhaps I can give a very summarized version. I just noticed my thing wasn't on. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do a retake here. Sorry, guys. So, for those who weren't following, yeah, I've got to start all over again. So, sorry for those who didn't follow everything. So, when it concerns value, it was in general uptick. There is naturally the what it's about when it concerns RUNE. So, needed for two fundamental reasons: liquidity pools, base pair. So yeah, it's used as an intermediary token. So as the five purposes: amplifier to elevate assets that are on the THORCHAIN. So you can read this one, and I hope this time it will become more clear. We'll continue. How does THORCHAIN differ from others? The attraction of THORCHAIN is that its chain agnostic feature allows to swap assets on a real basis, unlike RUNE. So yeah. Here they explain how they differ from other decentralized exchanges. They differ by reason. They are not going to make so-called wrapped coins or tokens. What are wrapped coins or tokens? Well, those are coins and tokens being held in a custodial wallet, so in a private wallet in a corporation, but making use of a smart contract where they can be, well, introduced to the native blockchain. That's basically how most of the decentralized, well, not most, but how certain networks function. THORCHAIN does not do this by reason, well, they try to go peer-to-peer immediately. So what gets apart is the cross-chain feature, which enables any asset to be swapped and a pool created around it. This opens a whole new world of possibilities for DeFi use and its ecosystem alike, etc. How to get RUNE from Uniswap or Binance. You can also find RUNE trading on various decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to look out. Nope, no questions at this point in time. So yeah, once again to the viewers, made a small mistake there. Forget to put on my headphones. So if the sound isn't all that clear, I might be doing a retake of this episode later on. I'm going to start resharing my screen again. So, as said before, I will move on to do an analysis of the websites, white paper, etc. And the community, THORCHAIN. What do we have here? Decentralized liquidity protocol, deposit native assets into liquidity pool. So immediately they tell you how to do it, how it functions. Nice, fast loaded site, which implies decent development. Welcome to view of the new THORCHAIN.org. Liquidity provider, so it's in full development. Using community maintained web and desktop interfaces. I'm going to take a quick peek. Seems to be a roadmap, GitHub, okay, source code. So yeah, you can download it. Releasing but interludes in the THORCHAIN, deterministic, so they're quite open what's going on about. They seemingly are referring towards the social media, liquidity pooling. I have to admit, despite the site looking very neat, it gives off a little bit of vibe of being a scam. By reason there's immediate thrown at you, yeah, that's average per year, that's the amount of profit you can make, so it's a bit frightening and it's immediately quite full. And so the website designer is watching, might fix that one, and I am aware of the irony regarding the beginning of this live stream and making such a remark about a website. But anyway, it's just humble feedback. Sorry, politics, so Telegram bot. Okay, so you've got all links here. So fast loaded site, tech, RUNE soon, what is it? Utility first value, it was designed to be the most used in its own network. Utility creates value, value creates an ecosystem. So once again, they give an abbreviation, a summary of what you can do with RUNE. Avoids diluting pair liquidity, is the base currency as required to provide. So it's basically a rundown with some additional details. Since I have been talking about it earlier on, I'm going to say we're going to skip this one. Update soon. Deep swap. Close this one. Aha, those are the graphs, how much is being swapped and being used on the exchange. I've got the impression. Is investor do not have liquidity? Okay, so they are still in beta. So not really active. They have a few things. It's quite, yeah, confusing, I'm going to say, especially if you're new to it. Even someone slightly more experienced as me in blockchain and cryptocurrency, I'm having a little bit of a hard time what the immediate possibilities are. I believe this is going to be the white paper. Into THORCHAIN Vanguard, first doing important safety checks, interface, Midgard AP, THORCHAIN Ledger, both external side developers. Yeah, this seems to be how to set things up. There's the blog. Oh yeah, I'm going to take a quick peek at the blog. It's launched on April 25. Team are focusing on stability, raised caps, multi-chain resources. So yeah, that's the Medium article. Okay, I'm going to close the main website. Seem to find a lot of information here. Compare, has it been audited? How active is it? 1 billion volume in 138 days. Yeah, okay. So okay, they refer to the community if everything is a bit too complicated. Can it list for transaction on chain? So our things. Audits, so yeah, they have audits. I'm not going to get all too deep into it. Full proof, still going on. How do I use it? So yeah, developers, I can't seem to click on it. That's weird. Any case, website needs some thorough updating and it seems to be in full development. I was hopeful, but I'm getting less hopeful here about the project. White paper, resources. You have to be kidding me. Crypto economic. So okay, it's available on GitHub and there's a direct link. Value assets. It is securing definitions, network native assets, assumptions, optimal capital distribution. So yeah, it basically tells how everything works. Quite a short one. Not all too impressed, really. They will give away how they function in general. Well, it's a general application on how a decentralized exchange works. So yeah, I'm not immediately all too impressed with the white paper. Losing points fast here. I'm going to take a look at the communities. They refer to it themselves by reason. If everything's too technical, you can seem to find your turn here. Just go with them. I think THORCHAIN will go plus 50. So yeah, if I see something like this, I'm not immediately impressed. By reason, it implies that the token is more for trading and less for its use case. So misleading charge 5 months ago, 5 months ago. So Reddit is quite inactive, basically. Get its own wiki page. Okay, nice. On analyst thinks THORCHAIN will benefit from PayPal Bitco acquisition. Want to talk? Predicting RUNE. Yeah, and not much movement going on here. It's a bit sad. Perhaps Twitter is much better. Oof. Oh, that's the old THORCHAIN. Yeah, they should eagerly fix a little bit their marketing department. Going to the new one. It's already looking better when it concerns the amount of users. Raise the caps. So that implies that. So this tweet already gives me mention that they might inflate a little bit their market cap. So my positive review of yes, it has a limited market cap is blown well, is getting invalidated here with this one. So just to make sure that I'm not making a mistake here. Come on. Raise the caps, raise the caps. Yeah, that's a lot of hashtags, but sure. Torso community is growing massively with rounds of new members per day. 70 now. So their Twitter is more recent and up to date, from what I can tell. BNB environment to Torun. Sync. Yeah, by reason the website didn't give me as much information as I needed. I'm trying to see what's going on with THORCHAIN. They're doing bug fixes, so it, from what I can tell, it's still in full development and they are still testing the waters. Well, let me say this from first go. This is one of the reasons why I tend to be more, how to say, confident in cryptocurrency projects who have been around for more than 3 years. Basically, this one's still in full development and they're still testing the waters. So those aren't very good points. It has potential as a decentralized exchange, but from what I can tell, they seem to still have a long way to go. THORCHAIN weekly update. I'm not going to get all too deep into it. So yeah, Twitter is certainly something to follow. Let's see. Facebook account not available. Telegram looks active. Weekly update. Okay, they reshared it here. Raise the cap, raise the cap. Long-term RUNE, not for LP. Telegram is a little bit an imitation of the Twitter page. So I'm having fat doubts here. $10,000 members. Okay. So yeah, basically when it concerns community, I'm not all too impressed. Yeah, I'll have to recap this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. This was actually a very, very short episode. I was hoping for more from this project. By reason, well, from the tags that I could tell on CoinGecko, it has to do with decentralized exchange. It is a decentralized exchange. Generally, anything related towards DeFi, decentralized exchanges, are, well, fairly good bets to invest in as an investor and starting in cryptocurrency or starting to make use of it. However, apart from the ever increasing value over time, there isn't, well, really anything going on with the THORCHAIN. Looking at a white paper, it's a general rundown for how a decentralized exchange should work. Um, Concerning its value, its historical value, like I said, it is in general uptick, which is positive, but there's, well, the trend seems to be that they are following well, a certain amount of, well, that they are following the markets really. The bull run 2019 was a general calm year when it concerns, well, the cryptocurrency market. 2020 wasn't as impressive as it should be, and from what I could tell, do we share my screen here? There, oh, screen sharing, share screen. From what I can tell, well, I naturally said in the beginning of the episode, if it recorded, it was quite positive, and in the long term, generally gave an uptick. However, it was incepted October 2019, and from what I can tell, things were quite calm and only started exploding in value, well, when the general bull run from this, well, this bull run actually started. So somewhere October 2020 was a little uptick here, and it generally follows the market. So taking that into account, I'm actually not all that impressed. If I have to refer towards another, well, project that I analyzed last week with Bancor, which I was very, very, very impressed about. Their historical value wasn't really congruent with the value I gave them and the credit they gave them. By reason, the value of their coin was actually, how to say, pegged to the activity on the entire crypto market. This gave it a false impression that it is a scam coin in the case of Bancor, while in reality it is a very, very, very solid decentralized exchange. I have the impression here with THORCHAIN, it's going to be the other way round. They have an increase in value, but merely because, well, a lot of people are speculating with the coin and not really making use of, well, the THORCHAIN network. Uh, Furthermore, and that's another thing I'm worrying, well, which is slightly worrying, they've been around for almost 2 years, but they are still in full development. There wasn't, well, much information available, well, apart from the information given on CoinGecko and Hitherto put on their websites. So I'm going to say it isn't really a coin I'm convinced about. It has some good future potential. I definitely want to say keep your eyes on it, but do not have all too high expectations. The ideas behind it are very solid. Will probably have well, talking future wise, good potential, but currently I dare say keep your hands off it. Let it gestate, let it evolve, let it grow, let it further develop. if you are convinced of the project itself, I dare say get involved, help the people out. But if you're merely here as an investor, I'd say keep your hands off, by reason the second this bull run, the current bull run from 2020 and 2021 is over, I might see this one crash severely due to mass sell-offs. So watch out. So yeah, with this I'll have to conclude this quite short episode of the Crypto Bull. This will be available for rewatch. Once again, I want to thank naturally all viewers here. If I notice that the first part wasn't recorded properly because I forgot to put on headphone and microphone, I will do a retake with a live stream. I'll try to be as unbiased as before and generally give the rundown once again. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and up until next time, bye!